Hi friends, I'm just going to hum and strum real quickly 4 popular songs. See if you can figure out what they all have in common. La da 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 da. Alright, you were hopefully able to recognize Let It Be by the Beatles, Stand By Me by originally Ben E. King, but many people have done it, I'm Yours by Jason Mraz, relatively new song, and Knockin' on Heaven's Door by Bob Dylan. The thing they have all in common is they're built with diatonic chords. So this video is going to be about the 7 chords of the diatonic series. And it's, again, easiest to see things on the piano, so I'm going to switch over to the piano keyboard, do a screencast. And if you're already familiar with basic music theory, you might just skim over it. It's about 9 minutes long, but if you're not so familiar, go ahead and watch it all, and I think it makes it pretty clear. Then we'll come back and show it to you on the guitar. Okay, here's the piano keyboard, and you can see groups of 2 black keys and 3 black keys, 2 blacks, 3 blacks. C is right before the 2 black keys. Here's a C right here. I've got a MIDI keyboard controller hooked up. If you play all the white notes, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. You might know that makes a major scale. In Italian, it's Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. Some people say Si, Do. In music theory, we turn it into numbers. 1 or root, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1 and 8 are the same note. C, C. Call that an octave. Oct means 8. Octopus has 8 legs, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You may already know that from here to here we call a half step. So from here to here is the interval of a whole step with 1 note in between. So the formula for a major scale goes from 1 up a whole step to 2, whole step to 3, half step to 4. You see there's no black note in between 3 and 4, right next to each other. From 4 to 5, a whole step, 5 to 6, a whole step, 6 to 7, whole step, 7 to 8, a half step. So your half steps are between 3 and 4 and 7 and 8. In the major scale, everything else is a whole step. So there are 3 kinds of chords in the diatonic series, or diatonic chords. So the way chords are built are every other note. Going to take a 1, a 3, and a 5. Play them together, makes a major chord. So this interval from 1 to 3, that's called a major third. Go up a half step, whole step, another half step. So that's 1, 2 whole steps defines a major third. And the 5th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 half steps, or 2, 3 and a half steps to a fifth. That interval is called a fifth. So major chords are nice, bright, happy chords. Now if we take this major third and we take it down a half step, that's called a minor third, or 1.5 steps to a minor third. If we keep the fifth in the chord, now we get a much sadder, or I like to say moodier sounding chord. So we just make that one difference from a major chord, flat the third, minor chord. So the Diatonic series has 3 major chords in it and 3 minor chords. I'll show you in a second. It has 1 diminished chord. Now the diminished chord has a minor third, and the fifth is flatted. That's something that you don't do too often, but the diminished chord is 1, flat 3, flat 5. Another way you can think of it is a stack of minor thirds. So from here to here is a minor third. 1.5 steps. From here to here is another 1.5 steps, or an interval of a minor third. So 1 minor third, another minor third stacked on top of each other makes a diminished chord. We don't use that a whole lot. Some people call it a wild card chord. You don't normally stay on that chord. You can use it passing between other chords. We call it a passing chord. Okay, here is the Diatonic series. Very easy to see on the piano. You can just see I'm playing 1, 3, 5, every other note of the scale. 1, 3, 5. Then I just go up to the second note of the scale and play every other note. So this is the second, the fourth, and the sixth note of the scale. Makes a D minor chord. So just by playing the white notes, now this interval is a minor third, up a step and a half from here, and the fifth is 1, 2, 3.5 steps, regular fifth. The 3 chord, E minor, here's an E root, again a minor third, with a major third on top. So a minor chord is a minor third on the bottom and a major third on the top. The 4 chord, F major, 1, 3, 5. Now we've got the major third from F, whole step, another whole step, 2 whole steps, a major third. From the third of that chord up a step and a half, it's got a minor third on top, major third on the bottom, major chord. The 5 chord, G major, major third with a minor third, and the 6 chord, A minor, a minor third, and a major third. The 7 chord, this is our diminished chord, the leading chord. It leads back to the tonic chord, or the C chord, the root chord. So again, we've got major, C major, the 2 chord, the chord built off the second degree of the scale. The second note of the scale is minor. The 3 chord is minor, E minor. The 4 chord, major, F major. The 5 chord, G major, major chord. The 6 chord, minor, that's A minor. And the 7 chord, a stack of minor thirds, B diminished. Back to the root or tonic chord. Again, it's major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major. These are what we call close voicing chords, where the intervals of the chord 1, 3, 5 are right in a row. Now we can take this 5, for example, and move it down an octave here and keep these two the same place. This is still a C major chord, but now it's a different arrangement of the notes. We call it a different voicing. I could take this root and move it up here and really open up the voices like that. I've got a fifth of the chord, a third, and a root up here. So it's still a C major chord, but it's not what we call close voicing anymore. Okay, let's go back to the guitar. It's real easy to see the diatonic series on the piano because there's only one place you can play each note on the piano and they're all laid out in a row. On the guitar, here's C on the 3rd fret of the A string. Another place to play it is on the 8th fret of the E string. They're exactly the same note. On the piano, there's only one place to play that. You might know that you can play a C scale like this. My finger numbers are 3rd finger on the A string 3rd fret, open D, 2nd fret of D string, 3rd fret with my 3rd finger, open G string, 2nd fret with my 2nd finger of the G string on the G string, open B string, and 1st fret of the B string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you can probably know this basic C chord. Okay, so if we take the root with our 3rd finger, the 3rd with our 2nd finger, and a 5th with the open G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, 5. There's our tonic chord. By the way, 3-note chords are called triads because only 3. The next chord would be a D minor. If we're going to play straight up just like we did on the piano, now we're going to go up to the 5th fret. On the piano it's easy to play close voicing chords, but on the guitar it's a little harder. I'm going to use my little finger on the 5th fret of the A string. That's the 2nd note of a C scale. And this is going to be a minor chord, so the minor 3rd in D is this F note, the 3rd fret of the D string, and then I'm going to play the 5th of a D chord, the A note on the 2nd fret of the G string. So the fret numbers are 5, 3, 2. Strings are 5th, 4th, and 3rd. So the first chord we can play like this: 1, 3, 5, C major, D minor, 1 minor 3, 5, like that. Hold this same exact shape or voicing, go up 2 frets with it or a whole step. Now this is an E note on the 7th fret of the A string. A D note is the flat 3 in the key of E, and a B note is the 5th. There's our E minor triad. The next chord is going to be F major. So now we've got the major 3rd, 1, 2, 3 in F. My little finger's on the 8th fret of the A string is in F. The 3rd of that chord is the 7th fret of the D string with my 3rd finger. The 5th of an F chord is a B a C note on the 5th fret of the G string. 1, 3, 5 in F. Take that same shape up a whole step or 2 frets to G major. Now the frets are getting a little closer together, a little easier to play. Now I've got little finger on the 10th fret of the A string, 3rd finger 9th fret D string, 1st finger 7th fret G string. 1, 3, 5 in G. That's the 5 chord, by the way. Little review. 1 chord is major, 2 chord minor, 3 chord minor, the 4 chord is major, F major, the 5 chord is G major. The 6 chord is minor. It's going to be the same fingering as the other minor chords. 1 flat 3 5. Here's an A note on the 12th fret. That's the octave fret. 2nd finger 10th fret of D string. 1st finger 9th fret of G string. 1 flat 3 5 in A. Now the 7 chord, we've got 2 minor thirds in a row. From the 14th fret of the A string is a B. The 12th fret of the D string is a D, and 10th fret of the G string is an F note. 1 flat 3 flat 5. Here would be the regular 5. The diminished chord has the flat 5 or diminished 5. Diminished means to make smaller, so the interval has gotten 1 half step shorter. And now we're back to the tonic chord. Little finger 15th fret A string is a C note. 14th fret of the D string is an E note, and 12th fret of the G string at the octave, that's a G. C, E, G, 1, 3, 5 in C major. And just to review, 1, 3, 5, C major, 1 flat 3 5 D minor, 1 flat 3 5 E minor, 1 major 3 5 F major, 1 major 3 5 G major, 1 flat 3 5 A minor, 1 flat 3 flat 5 B diminished, 1 3 5 C major. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major. That's not a very practical way to play those chords, but you occasionally use those, and it's definitely good to know those close voicing chords in that series. If we play C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, down here by the nut, they're much more familiar chords. C major, D minor, E minor, F major, you can play like this, or the full bar. G major, A minor, B diminished. Now I'm going to play what we call diminished 7, just because it's hard to play only a diminished triad. And back to C. So Let It Be, it's got a 1 chord, a 5 chord. That's C and G. C is the 1 chord, G is the 5 chord. A minor is a 6 chord, F is the 4 chord. So da da 1 da da 5 da da 6 da da 4 1 da da 5 da 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 da. And you can play in any key. We're playing everything in C here, but that's the nice thing about music theory is I can take it anywhere. I can go up to B. Da, 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 da. still the same. 1, 5, 6, 4. Stand By Me has a very, very common chord progression. If I do it in C again, da 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 to the 6, from 1 to 6, da 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 to the 4 chord F, da 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 da, the 5 chord G, da da da, 1, 6, 4, 5. Very, very common chord progression. I'm Yours, Jason Mraz song. Da da da. If we do it in C, da 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 to the 5 chord G, da 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 da, A minor, the 6th chord, da 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 da, F, the 4 chord, da 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 da, da 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 da, Knocking on Heaven's Door. If we do it in C, I was playing it in G earlier, but da 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 da. That would be C, the 1 chord, G, the 5 chord, D minor, the 2 chord, and then the next it goes 1, 5, 4 to the F chord. That's the whole song. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. D minor, 2 chord. Back to C. Knock, knock, G, F. Diatonic chords in C major. Hope this helped you out. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.